Well, good morning to all of you, and welcome. This is my third State of the City address, and I'm glad that you're all here. I really like having the opportunity to share with our residents and our employees to let everybody know of all what has happened and what's going on here at the City Hall and in the City of Wausau. 3 years ago, I began having the honor and the privilege of being your mayor of the great City of Wausau, and in the past year, there have been many positive things that have happened. So let's talk about them as well as some issues that we're facing going into 2019. And yes, just like every other city, we do have some issues facing us. But I'm very happy to announce that the state of the City of Wausau continues to get better, and we are definitely getting stronger. If we continue to work, to communicate, and unify together, as we have been, the City of Wausau will continue to be very strong with a very promising and very bright future. I am both enthusiastic and very proud that in the last 3 years, our city is more welcoming, is better positioned for future growth, and is more focused on the long-term vision to ensure the success of the future of the City of Wausau. Let me start out by saying that I can never say enough good things about our department heads and all of our city staff here and the positive things that they do in order to make the City of Wausau work so effectively and efficiently. Each of our employees are dedicated, hardworking, and professional, and both ourselves and our residents are very lucky and blessed to have them working for us. They have been and will continue to be true assets of the city. Now, it also helps that the overall atmosphere and morale here at City Hall, as well as our outside satellite facilities, continues to improve, and we are definitely performing at a higher level of service and doing so with less staff than in many departments than just a few years ago. On a regular basis, I meet with department heads and staff members to see how they're doing, to continuously look for better ways that we can do our jobs, and to improve our overall day-to-day operations here in the city. I am so very proud of and truly very grateful to each one of our employees for all of their efforts, and again, they are true assets in making the City of Wausau succeed as well as it does. A sincere thank you and a job well done to each of you. All of us here at the City of Wausau are a team, and we're all united together in making our city better every day and providing services to the public, and we will continue to do so. Now let's talk a little bit about our budget. The 2018 year ended with a financial surplus of about $1 million. This surplus was due to stronger than expected building permit issuances, strong investment income, and other revenue returns, along with our department spending restraints in their budgets. And yes, for our taxpayers, we really do try to save money. Now, the City Council has already allocated $350,000 of this surplus to be spent in order to expand our 2019 street maintenance work. A few words of caution, though. It's a little too early, excuse me, it's a little too early to predict the ending 2019 financial outcome, and another reminder to our residents, the excessive snowfall removal and street repairs in early 2019 has hit the public works budget very hard. A healthy budget surplus or reserve is very important, and one that we have really strived to try to achieve here in the last few years because it helps us prepare for periods of economic instability and for unexpected liabilities. For our infrastructure and Department of Public Works projects that were completed in 2018, the city continued our ongoing efforts to repair, maintain, and reconstruct our aging infrastructure. There were 7 full street reconstruction projects on Roosevelt, 10th Avenue, Party Street, Eldred Street, Ashland Avenue, Meadowview Road, and Callan Streets. These projects included reconstruction of sidewalks, water, sanitary, sewer, and storm sewer in those locations. The city also completed a concrete street repair project, continued our seal coating projects throughout the city to extend the life of our asphalt streets, completed a pavement parking project to enhance the visibility of our crosswalks, and we continue to always repair and replace our sidewalks. The water utility completed a water main extension near Kent Street to loop their water main and to prepare for the Town Line Road construction project for 2019. And speaking of 2019, as everyone has been made well aware of through numerous public press releases, public hearings, and social media messages, the City of Wausau will be constructing numerous infrastructure projects throughout the city, probably among the busiest ever. We will reconstruct 3 major arterial roadways, including Town Line Road, Thomas Street, and South First Avenue. All 3 of these streets will be closed to through traffic from mid-May to November, and detours have been established for their construction periods, and they are listed and available on our city website. In addition, the city will be completing local street reconstruction projects on North First Street by Short Street, on North 2nd Street, on McClellan and Grant Streets, and on 7th Avenue. All of these projects are a full reconstruction of streets, sidewalk, water, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer. The water utility will be replacing 2 sanitary sewer mains crossing the Wisconsin River. These 2 existing lines were installed in 1939 and have served the city well. But like so much of our old and aging infrastructure, they are well beyond their design life and they need to be replaced. Now please remember to be patient and considerate to each other and to our construction workers that are out working on all these projects while our residents are navigating through the detours. Remember that by being patient and considerate, it ensures safety for yourself, for our workers, and for continued progress in getting these projects done in a timely way. Our hope is to have everyone arrive home safely to enjoy both life and loved ones. Another future project that has been thoroughly discussed is that our water and sewer utilities are in the process of completing plans and final designs for both updating the wastewater treatment facility and the relocation and rebuilding of our drinking water treatment facility. Speaking of water, this is a good time to break for some. These are the largest and most significant assets owned by the city, and it's critical to maintain them. Clean, reliable drinking water and safe, reliable sewage treatment are important for healthy living and quality of life for our residents. These facilities allow the city to continue to develop and to grow for our future. It is another part of our vision for the success and long-term viability of Wausau for generations to come. Both of these projects are expected to begin construction in 2020. Now, as I just stated earlier in my message, so much of our infrastructure needs to be not just updated, but actually replaced. Ignoring it or providing a temporary fix is not acceptable, responsible, or cost-effective. This is the reason why over the past few years we've begun to aggressively update many different parts of our infrastructure throughout the city. Respectfully, we can't wait for help from the state or from the federal governments to update these projects. Like so many other cities here in Wisconsin and in the United States, we are ultimately the ones that have to tackle and take on these projects ourselves. Folks, we all use the roads, we all use the sewer and water systems, and we use all other infrastructure throughout the city. And now is the right and responsible time to update and complete these long-needed projects. These projects have been discussed and presented in a public manner to our residents on many occasions, and we will continue to do so in order to keep our residents informed. I also want to say thank you to our City Council for seeing the long-term needs for all these infrastructure projects and for having the courage in supporting them. They too are recognizing of what is needed for the long-term future needs of Wausau. Again, by all of us discussing and working together, by listening to our residents and doing so in an open and transparent way is the reason why over the last few years there's been so much more accomplished in a positive and proactive way for the future of Wausau. For economic development in the city of Wausau, 2018 was another record year for growth and development. As a reminder, 2017 was the all-time record year, and both 2017 and 18 are ranked among Wausau's top 3 years for growth and development ever. As I have often stated at many events and to the media on numerous occasions, we have really made a conscious marketing effort to promote Wausau locally and nationally, and it's been reflected in the successes that we have received. In the past year, we've been honored to receive a variety of accolades and recognition. Please let me share once of them again with you. In 2018, the city of Wausau was recognized as the top market recruiter in Wisconsin by ZipRecruiter, an online human resources firm, the top 10 city for careers by Smart Asset, an online investment firm, a top 10 city for tech career by CIO Magazine, the number 2 city in the nation for bicycling for people, or for bikes. Our River Life Area Public Improvements Project won the American Public Works Association's Project of the Year. Our Downtown 400 block won the Wisconsin chapter of the American Planning Association's Great Place designation. A few weeks ago, Wausau won the Great American Street Award, a true testament to the city of Wausau, Wausau events, and the Wausau River District's collaboration and working together for the city placemaking and events. This truly makes our downtown and parks a go-to destination. Data highlighted from last summer also show that Wausau is one of the fastest recovering metro areas from the Great Recession. The National Christian Science Monitor magazine also highlighted 7 of our local businesses and the City of Wausau for its efforts in creative ways in attracting a talent to the City of Wausau. And this final recognition is very important and shows that Wausau is improving. In December 2018, the updated Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics data confirmed that the City of Wausau region is the fastest growing area for jobs and wages in the entire state of Wisconsin. None of these accolades were sought out by the city. However, it further shows that Wausau is moving forward in a positive manner. Already now in 2019, Wausau was noted in 2 different national rankings, a ranking of number 10 for the city for millennials to move to by reviews.org, and a ranking of 2 for the most affordable small town to retire to by 55places.com. Achieving both at the same time underscores that Wausau truly is both age diverse and very welcoming. And just this week, we were acknowledged by the American Association of Retired Persons, or ARP, as a livable community. Our new Livable Wausau initiative will focus on bringing age-friendly efforts together, improving service delivery, and adapting public policy. For more information on this, or if you have any ideas on how Wausau can be more livable for all, please visit www.livablewausau.com. I'm also excited about 2019 because of the new healthcare projects that the City of Wausau has had a part in developing. These are paying off and are now in motion towards completion. Healthcare has become our city's largest growing employment and tax-based provider. Investments in healthcare by Aspires at both Wausau Hospital and downtown at the new Wellness Campus in collaboration with the YMCA, the expansion and renovations at North Central Healthcare, new facilities for ENT Associates, and the Bridge Street Community Clinic, just to name a few. I am pleased that Great Lakes Cheese is up and running in their new facility in our new Far West Side Business Campus on Innovation Way, and the new River Life Park that will be opening on the north end of the riverfront in June with a bunch of family fun amenities and activities, including brick soft serve maintaining the concession area. I'm confident that these investments will contribute greatly to the long-range success of the future of Wausau, and I'm very proud that we have not just sat around and sat still and wondered what to do next, but have been proactive and unafraid of planning for the next 10, 15, 20 years and beyond, in building a strong foundation for the future vision and strength of Wausau for generations to come, and we will continue to do so. Now, what better way to welcome someone to Wausau than by helping them make Wausau home? Affordable housing is an important city topic. Working on our continued goal to diversify housing choices, we welcome a variety of new housing options. On the west side, the new Urban West high-end apartments on 12th Avenue, the opening of the renovated Savo Supply Building, now called Atrium Lofts, which added over 20 affordable housing units in a mixed-income property overlooking the river. The River East townhomes on 3rd Street, with an additional phase 2 of those new townhomes starting this year, and multiple new duplex townhomes on Thomas Street. The recent news about the Wausau Landmark Building apartments being historically renovated into affordable rental units is especially exciting and very much needed. In addition to these new housing options to date, we've helped 56 local families buy and renovate homes here in the City of Wausau with our Live It Up Wausau Downpayment Assistance program. The recipients of this program come from businesses located throughout our region and work for both large and small employers. Wausau is very proud to have approved a variety of new housing options, both for rent and for purchase, for both affordable needs and for new high-end options. And in order for Wausau to remain competitive, we must welcome more diverse employees across every sector interested in coming here. And hey, speaking of being welcoming, we have implemented a long-awaited overhaul of our downtown parking regulations, and we standardize all downtown parking to 2 hours of free parking everywhere. And that's a measure that very few cities in Wisconsin provide. We will now be similar to our peer cities across the street by installing parking kiosks and unveiling the Passport parking app later on this year, replacing out-of-date parking meters and chalking of tires. This will allow parkers in our parking garages and our city lots the opportunity to add more time for parking when they visit downtown. I'm also very proud of our investments in the craft and cultural economy of our city. I'm very happy to see the former Wausau Club transformed into the very successful Museum of Modern Art, the new Timekeeper Distillery and the old Hiawatha Trinity Pool, and the soon-to-be-open Whitewater Music Hall in the former Masonic Temple building. These projects will help make Wausau a unique and interesting destination, as well as utilizing historical buildings that might have otherwise been torn down. I also want to send out the word that we are at a historically low number of city-owned properties. We have really worked hard to get these properties redeveloped and are continually moving forward in a proactive way. I'm also excited to report that local developers have expressed interest in purchasing the old Sears building for redevelopment, and we're working with them to define future plans. Now, the mall repurpose continues to be a challenge. As I've noted many times, we welcome creative, adaptive, and realistic solutions for the mall and its future. It has been clear that we are more than willing to help, but the city should not, and we will not do it alone. And folks, please remember that we do not own the main mall building. At this point, we have become limited by what we can do. Over the past 2.5 years, the city has taken the lead in bringing forth initiatives regarding the mall's future development, and this included our purchase of the Sears building to assist in redevelopment, and along with Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, we completed a redevelopment plan that provided several very interesting and exciting ideas for potential new housing options located in the mall, which were very well received by the public, as well as our completing further consulting plans for other potential redevelopment options and street changes around the mall area. We have had continuous discussions with the mall owners for their thoughts and plans for the future redevelopment of the structure, but with little to no interest being shown by them as to any future plans on their part. Again, it cannot and it will not be the city alone to continue to be the only ones trying to make the Wausau Center work. As I've stated before on numerous occasions, the mall building is still a very sound and viable facility for a new type of venture. On a personal note, I have been very disappointed that the current mall ownership is either unable or unwilling to make decisions to move forward in a meaningful way. This facility in this area has great potential. We will continue to hold the mall owners accountable, and if they can't or won't implement realistic redevelopment, we believe and strongly suggest that they should sell the property to another willing owner or developer who can change the future of the Wausau Center Mall. On a very positive note, we have a downtown that is very vibrant and energetic, with very low vacancy in storefront retail, actually one of the lowest in the state, and with continued outside interest in more housing and entertainment options, in which the city of Wausau will always be helpful and supportive to continue our strong and successful downtown that has become. Another reminder to everybody that 2018 was the second best year ever for economic development and growth in Wausau, with 2017 being the best, and 2019 is starting out to be another excellent year. Folks, economic development is the engine that moves our city forward successfully. And these investments in both economic development and our infrastructure are made to ensure that our city remains competitive. If they are not done, we will falter and not grow. And I won't allow that to happen. It really is the right and responsible thing to participate in and to do. I call these small-term investments with a big-term payoff for the future of the city of Wausau. Another one of our greatest assets is our higher education partners in the UW system and in NTC. I have met personally with Dr. Ray Cross, the president of the UW system, who has assured me that they will reinvest and have hired a marketing firm in order for the UWSP Wausau campus, formerly UWMC, to increase enrollment, expand program offerings, especially new graduate degrees locally. The city fully supports an expanded and growing vision of our UW campus. And I also want to recognize and say thank you to Dr. Lori Wires and her staff for their leadership of our local North Central Technical College, which continues to play an integral role in our development and competitiveness, and has really led the way on the national level on educational partnership. I look forward to continue working with both the UW system and NTC to continue to grow advanced education here in Wausau. Since I became mayor, we have shown how the city's policy-making process and decision-making are more open and transparent. This has been a hard-fought hallmark of my efforts, and I'm especially proud to list the accomplishments in that area. We publicly broadcast each standing committee and city council meeting on our webpage, community access channels, and YouTube channel for public viewing of what is happening and how things are being determined. We've issued a record number of public press releases and held numerous media conferences and roundtables on key city-related matters to help keep the public informed. Both myself and city staff have attended a record number of events, neighborhood group meetings, business meetings, and faith and nonprofit organizational meetings to keep our residents informed of issues and to hear what they have to say. We always welcome the opportunity to open ourselves up to questions and answers from the media and residents at any time. Throughout 2018, we expanded our city government Facebooks and social media pages with new separate pages for our public works, police and fire department, and park departments, all of which now total over 25,000 likes. We created and unveiled a new city mobile app, a first for us, describing anything you may want to know about the city and all events and the happenings going on. It is available for download from the Apple App Store and Google Play. We have created and continue to expand our Wausau marketing campaign, which shares stories of civic, business, and community leaders and why they love to live and to work here. For better communications and more accessibility, at the end of 2018, I added 2 more features for our residents to take advantage of. A new mayor's pothole hotline to allow for quicker response time of potholes, and which has been very successful and maybe even too successful, as well as a new coffee with the mayor, another opportunity for residents to have direct access to me in addressing whatever issues they want to talk about. I've also created and staffed 5 new public commission committees that will address different issues that face the city and include more detailed public engagement. All these commissions and committees are represented by a majority of citizen resident members that serve on them. They include a new Energy and Sustainability Commission, which was created as a citizen advisory board and body to the city council and staff. This committee will focus on issues that affect public health, welfare, and safety relating to energy, sustainability, and the environment. A first ever Public Arts Commission to advise the city council and staff on the planning, procurement, installation, operations, and maintenance of public art projects and artworks. A new Room Tax Commission, which oversees and distributes hotel room tax revenue generated from local hotels for distribution to nonprofit groups to promote Wausau for marketing and tourism. A new Dog Park Subcommittee to promote and develop a new dog park with possible options for more parks to be located throughout the city for our furry friends and residents to participate in, and something that many residents have been wanting for years for further enhancement of our quality of life here in Wausau. And the new Mayor's Welcoming and Inclusivity Committee, which was created with citizen members of all different backgrounds to promote tolerance and acceptance of all people no matter what their age, race, nationality, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status. On a personal note, diversity is a good thing, and one that needs to be celebrated and one that needs to be accepted. Wausau is changing, and definitely for the better. Diversity and inclusion needs to be celebrated and accepted, and my message is this, that if you are here to contribute in a positive way, all are welcome here in the city of Wausau. It's also important to note that I continue to engage and reach out to all of our neighboring municipalities and their elected leaders on a regular basis. Relationships have continued to greatly improve with one another on different matters and projects, and will continue to do so. I continue to serve on the Housing and Homeless Coalition and work with other nonprofit entities for those individuals who need help. The city has continued to address and to work with numerous local nonprofit and faith-based agencies in supplying help and housing for the homeless, the chronically addicted, and for the mentally ill. We will also continue to address our own bus transportation issues. These are challenges that every city and town in our nation has, and Wausau is no different. It's important that we strive to assist those less fortunate. We are truly blessed to be living in such a caring and compassionate community that does share with others in a loving way. But there is so much more that is needed, and local government cannot do it alone. A good community helps those who need that help, and the city of Wausau has and will continue to do so. Recently, I was pleased to work cooperatively with the Wausau Region Chamber of Commerce and our local business, educational, and community leaders in drafting the new Greater Wausau Economic Development Strategic Plan. Wausau truly is the economic hub of our region, and I've been pleased to see our regional corporate leadership and the Chamber of Commerce highlight and recognize the many important and game-changing projects that the city has taken on since I became mayor. They express their support with the continued expansion of the West Side Business Campus, the importance of different and multi-housing options, our continued proactive development planning of the mall, our continued downtown investments, and the placemaking initiatives with the development and the construction on urban riverfront. All of these projects are ones that the city continues to lead on and is part of the long-term vision of the city's future, and ones that are extremely vital to the success of our entire region. And now for some really positive news. I'm very pleased to announce that work is on schedule to continue at the River Villages Phase 1 project as Gorman and Company has worked with local investors of Agut, Odie, and Riveron to move forward on completion of the new residential building by the east side riverfront. Construction will be restarted in June 2019 and will be completed in late summer 2020, with the Phase 2 project on that site already being discussed for a possible construction start date to be announced at a later time. We welcome these many meaningful efforts and changes in our community this past year, and going into 2019, I'm really excited and very enthusiastic about the future progress of Wausau. As I stated at the beginning of my message today, there is so much to celebrate because of the positive and successful things happening in our city and being completed in such a short time. As a city, we need to continue to work together to continue to build upon and not just rest in our past success, but to continue for us to move forward. We must continue to be proactive and to stay ahead in investing wisely in our infrastructure and our quality of life amenities. We need to welcome more workers, have more diversity and more openness, as well as having more creativity in our community. And we need to continue to be working and communicating together as we have been in order to make Wausau and its future awesome. I want to say thank you to all residents, community, and business leaders and government leaders, and to the city staff for all of your help in making our city work so well. And on a personal note, to once again say thanks and I love you to my kids, Matt, Taylor, and Joe. And especially again to my best friend and biggest supporter, my wife, Sherry, who, for whatever reason, always loves, takes care of, and supports me no matter what. Her patience, optimism, and love is what keeps me going. In closing, I truly love this city, and it has been shown that I do genuinely care about our residents and employees and their concerns. And once again, to remind everyone, there really has been an incredible amount of growth and progress happening in so many ways here in Wausau, and not only in the past year, but in the past 3 years. I truly love being in, and I'm always so very grateful, honored, and humbled to serve in this position as mayor of Wausau. And I will continue to help move the city of Wausau forward in a positive, progressive, and peaceful way. Stay tuned and stay enthusiastic, Wausau. We are moving together forward in a strong, positive, and optimistic way, and the best is truly yet to come. Thank you all. Now I'll open up for any questions. Go ahead, Brian.
Here we go. You want me to start over? I will.
Phil Donahue will come and answer.
So I spoke with Pam Anderson of the Housing and Homeless Coalition yesterday. She told me there's a great shortage of low-income housing for getting people who are formerly homeless into housing situations. And I know, like, even the Landmark project, which is a great project, doesn't really add new affordable housing units. It's just renovating, which is great. But what is the city proactively doing to encourage more low-income and moderately priced housing units? Because it seems like a lot of stuff like River Life, some of the other stuff going around town seem to be aimed at a higher income level.
Community development, that authority is always involved as far as trying to find different housing options, and they have. The need far outweighs what is there, so to speak. It's something that the city of Wausau has been working on and will continue to work on. It is an issue, but the city has been addressing it better here in the last couple of years. But again, the need is greater than what is there. And I've talked to Pam about this numerous times. I think she would tell you that the city has been very helpful here in the last couple of years as well. But it is an issue that we face. And it's not just Wausau, it's everybody.
To follow up with that, do you support a Housing First initiative where instead of trying to transition homeless people through various stages of transitional housing into a home where it puts them in the home first? Do you support that initiative? I believe
Well,
Madison
we've
is
helped
working
out
on that now.
Catholic Charities and other groups as far as having an option similar to that, as far as, and there's got to be an accountability for it, for folks to come in, get their lives put back together, and then hopefully be able to move out into the world to take on what they have to in order to succeed. Yes, with some conditions, we'll put it that way. I mean, there does have to be personal responsibility, but there's also got to be the recognition that folks need help in order to obtain being able to do so. Other questions? Good morning, Ms. Leonard.
Thank you. Nice presentation about all the wonderful things that are happening in Wausau. My husband and I have lived here for 49 years, and we truly love Wausau, and we plan to stay here the rest of our lives. One thing that was very obviously missing from the presentation, however, was the issue of taxes in the city of Wausau. The tax base, all of the lien that we're facing with the River Life project, and I'm just wondering what is going to happen with all
Well,
of
what's
that.
going to happen,
Is the
hopefully?
city going to be held responsible for $2.7 million in that lien? And that's going to end up, if it's the city, the taxpayers. So I think we need to be, we're transparent, but there's a few things that aren't quite as transparent as I'd like to see them.
Sure. And I did briefly touch, in kind of a humorous way, but also, yeah, we really do try to save money for our taxpayers overall. But in regards for your direct question, the money that had been set aside was already the city's contribution to that project. The lien holders, and it's kind of complicated in this, the lien holders, and they were all local, in order for, number one, for the project to move forward, and for the lien holders to be taken care of, and to avoid possible litigation, the city did contribute our share that had already been set aside for that. We're done at this point with that. And that's part of the agreements coming up with these new developers. And again, it's kind of exciting in that sense that at this point, there shouldn't be anything else as far as investments from the city in regards for that project. Again, I would agree with you. The money that had already been set aside for that, we had to use it in a different way that we didn't want to. But we did the right thing as far as making sure that those lien holders were taken care of, especially locally. And legally, we didn't have to do that. But it would have caused problems further down the road, and the project would languish. Anybody else?
You already talked a little bit about the River Life project. Could you elaborate on these new developers and how they are different from past developers, how you may keep them?
Well, they're local, number one. And this has been there's no getting around it. This has been a saga. What I like about them, the tenacity, and they've just kept on in that persistence that this is a project they wanted to do. The start over, they're actually using a lot of their own money to take over that phase one of the project. And with that option for a phase two coming later on at another time. It's exciting in the sense that, number one, the project's going to get done. It's going to get started here in June. In Gorman and Company, they got some other projects going on. They're the folks that are going to be taking care of the landmark facility. And there's a combination of factors that the interest had always been there from these folks. They always came and were really interested. We've also heard from many other different developers and stuff. They made such a good presentation back in January, they were almost selected at that time. And then when Gorman had other things going on, they worked together to speak with one another and share plans and ideas, and it's going to be basically a handoff. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because these guys really want to do it. They're local, so obviously they have a personal interest in getting this done, and the city of Wausau can move forward as far as the project getting completed. Anybody else? Shereen?
Thank you. So are you saying that the council already approved?
Thank you for that clarification. That will be coming on May 14th. It has been presented to them.
So just so everybody
Thank
knows
you
what we're
for the
talking about.
clarification.
I just wanted to know. So you're saying that the city will be satisfying those liens, but it hasn't been formally approved yet?
Basically, yep.
Okay.
It's going back to the city council we had a closed session discussion on Tuesday night and going back and forth, and again, to share with the city council everything that's going on. And if you notice, that's been one of the hallmarks here in the last couple of years. Everybody does know what's happening with one another. We don't have the issues that we used to as far as communications. But in getting ideas and hearing of whatever, questions range, well, maybe we should have just taken them in the first place back in January. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But the city council is fully aware, and they will be voting on May 14th for that decision as to naming Vagood, Odie, and Riveron as far as the developers. So, Anybody else? You guys are making it too easy. 35 minutes, not bad. Thank you all for coming today. Some good things are coming, folks. Stay tuned. Thank you.